Semper Gratus 5K. I finished second overall in 1830s, what the results say right now. This is the certificate that we got this year. Always like these. I think these are pretty special to get these every year for overall and age groups. Just a really nice touch and event. This is the medal we got. Take it off real quick. Yeah, really like this event. Again, I've came here, I don't know, 4 or 5 times at least now. Always a fun crowd. Every year it seems like it's getting bigger and bigger. Just more exciting. They have some really cool things inside, some businesses supporting it, and cool food. You actually get some hint water as well. I didn't get a smiley cookie this year, or shamrock cookie. They were all out, but whatever. The one bad part about the race is it never seems like they have good weather for this. Some years it's been really cold. I know one year it was icy and snowy. This year was windy when we started. It's actually raining right now. So one of these years they're going to have some good weather for this race. Hopefully next year when I come back. But I look forward to this just because of the atmosphere and then the race director, just the crowd in general. Was just a hell of a fun time. But yeah, I finished second overall. A little disappointed in myself. My time, I'm happy with my time, but just how the race itself played out in the end. I think I should have won. I was feeling pretty good earlier in the race. I actually have the race course up online if you guys want to check it out. It's not an easy course by any means, but it's definitely a fun and challenging course at the same time. Basically, you're running uphill for the first, I don't even want to call it a mile. I want to say 8-9 of the mile. You're starting in front of the Leechburg fire hall. And you do like a quick, like we'll say like 20-30 yards before you start the climb. There is one slight downhill as you're going through like some of the towns. It's more looping around a couple blocks to start, but you're basically going uphill that first 8-9 of the race before it tops out quickly, but then it goes uphill a little bit more before you do drop down a little bit after a mile. It's got 2 nice little drops. Then you run back uphill a couple more times during the race. Anyway, I was feeling pretty good early in the race, and in the hills, I knew not to go out too fast like I've done in years past, just trying to lead and win the race. I held back a little bit because there's always kids and teenagers that want to just take off, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going to play that game and burn myself out. So I didn't turn and burn per se, but I did start to go, and I just felt like comfortable, and my legs felt good. I did take yesterday off from running and biking. I just was spent after work from last week's races. I just never got caught up and back in the rhythm. Even yesterday my stomach was a little bit upset, and even this morning I had a nice poop before I left, and then when I got here I knew I had to take another one, so I did do that. Luckily I parked, there was a porta-john where I parked at, because I was kind of worried if there'd be a line inside. Anyway, after maybe like a 3/10, I was in the lead, and I led till 2.9-ish, 2.8, 2.9, right around here by the baseball field is when I finally got past. The guy who won last year was in third. I don't know if he was having issues or just not trying as hard. But yeah, I led. I was putting on a nice gap. And the guy who finished third, he was behind me, I would say at least till mile 2. I don't know where that guy who won came from. I didn't see him behind me at all. And he was wearing a red shirt, so he just must have did some negative splits or something. Yeah, because I didn't see him. Maybe he was third and he just gradually moved up. But I looked back at some of the turns and I was like, all right, I got a nice lead right now, 10, 15 seconds maybe. And then around mile 2-ish, I know like we hit one little decline at part of the race, and there was like a water stop, and then there was this black like S10 from there to the end of the race. Basically was just driving really stupidly slow. We did have a pace car or a lead car, whatever you want to call it, today. That didn't bother me because it took my mind off like figuring out where the turns were, even though I knew where they were. It was just nice to have that lead car. But when this S10 got in the way, like it was in front of the lead car, I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I basically said to myself, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, can't you, like, God might not have known what was going on, that there was a race. I'll give him credit for that. But he was just driving like such an idiot. Like, not even like maybe 20 miles an hour, because I was definitely gaining on him and like catching up to him, even at the stop signs. So he had to be driving no more than, 15 miles an hour through town. I get it. It's a safe speed, but whatever. The lead car like couldn't get around him. And then when the lead car did get around him, he hugged the lead car's bumper. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it just mentally took me out of the race. And I wasn't even thinking about running hard anymore. Or, I don't know how to explain it, but like my mind just went away from like running hard to like, what is this guy's deal? So I noticed I started slowing up just because I was more concentrating on the truck than the race itself. And that's when I started to get caught by the guy who won. I looked back and I was just like, my body's just like out of the zone, like out of rhythm now. And I saw him coming. I just never could regain. It just, I don't know how to, just something mentally, I just like basically shut race mode off, and I was running more of a training pace from then on out the last like 5/10 of the race, until I got past with like 2/10, 3/10 left, just because I got zoned out of race mode, and then like my body just basically shut down and focused on that S10 being an idiot. And then after I got past, I still had that about 1/10 to go when he was in front of me. I could have caught him, but I just never found my legs after that, or any gumption to like go fast or like a dead sprint. Like, I just couldn't find anything because I was just so thrown off by that truck. So that's what happened. That's why I was pissed off at the race today. Not because I got beat, it's because how I got beat and lost the race, just because there was that stupid truck that I just mentally checked out from. But yeah, I love the course. Again, it's a challenging course, a couple hundred feet of gain, and a great atmosphere. It's just one of those things that happened today that I can't explain. But like I said, is like the first mile, you're basically running uphill, or it feels like you're running uphill, even though I know there's a couple quick descents, but it's more like a small, like half a smiley face dip, if you want to call it that, before going up. But I don't know, whatever. I finished second. I guess it's nothing to be shameful about, but just what transpired, it's what aggravated me. But I did have fun. Got to see some friends today, talked to some friends. They had a lot of cool Marvel characters today. Some other new characters. Tinkerbell was there. I forget who else they had. But there's like people that dress up and support the race in costumes, so that's always nice. I don't know, I just check it out next year if you can. It's a good cause. But otherwise, there's really not much to say about the course itself, because I've talked about it the last couple years, and if you want to look at the course, you could see the video. But I did finish better than I did last year. Last year I was 4th or 5th, because I was out of shape last year, and a couple studs came and I just couldn't hang. So I did improve my placement. I don't know about my time. I'd have to compare times. Probably time as well, because I feel like I'm in better shape than last year, but probably not as good as shape as the couple years that I won the race. So who knows? Guess I have to go home and see and check it out.